I'm Holly from hollygrace.ca and you're watching Hometalk.
For this project, I made myself my own pattern templates just on some pieces of craft paper. And then I took my templates and then I cut them out in my material. So for the body, I'm going to be using this jean material. So I cut out a circle first, and then I cut out, this would be the front of my overall here. So I'm just tracing around my template that I drew myself, and then I'm cutting that out. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm also going to cut out what will be the arms. So I'm going to cut these out in a plaid material. This is just an old shirt that I cut up. And for that, I just cut out 2 rectangles. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my body here. So what I did was I just actually cut out an extra piece for the back. So I just cut around the front part of my body and I just cut a rectangle out for the back. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue this together. So I'm just going to glue down the sides. I'm going to leave the top and the bottom open. So I'm just using hot glue here. I'm gluing down the sides, making sure that I put right sides together. I'm going to overlay that on top and glue it together. For the arms, I'm going to again just glue down the sides as well, leaving the bottom and the top open, folding my rectangle over hot dog style. And I'm going to repeat this for the other arm. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach the circle to the body. This is going to be the bottom of my gnome. So I'm making sure that I'm attaching the right side in, and I'm just going to glue along the top of my material here. And then I'm going to start attaching the circle, making sure that I kind of pinch and gather the material so that it goes around the circle. So I'm just working one side at a time here, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom portion as well. And I'm going to flip my circle in here, but making sure that I'm gluing around the outside of the circle and not the middle of the circle. Once that is done and I let the glue set for just a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and flip the material. And this is my body here. It looks almost kind of like a wine bag. I'm going to be attaching the arms in the inside where I cut those curved portions on the bib part. But before we do that, I want to make some hands for my arms. So I'm just taking this stretchy sheen material and I'm just putting some cotton batting in the middle, and then I'm wrapping it around, making like a little circle. And then I'm going to take an elastic and I'm going to elastic off the puffy circle. This is going to be my hand. And I'm just going to cut off the excess here, repeat the process a second time for the second hand, and then I'm going to hot glue it onto the end of my arm, just on the outside there. And then I'm going to take my arm and I'm going to flip it outside right, and then this bottom portion of the hand will actually be inside the sleeve. So then what we're left with here is just this little, almost like a button nose looking thing just popping out of the sleeve. So I just repeat that for the other one, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stuff the arms with some cotton batting. To attach my arms to the body, we're just going to glue them directly on the inside of the body here with the hot glue, and then just press the jean nice and tight down on them. To add some weight to the bottom of my gnome, I'm going to add some popping corn, just a little bit, about a third of the bottom way up, just to make sure it stands up nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish stuffing the body of my gnome with some cotton batting, and then I'm going to seal up the sides of the overalls here with some hot glue. I also made this little pocket here just with some extra jean material, and I'm going to glue that to the front of my body of my gnome. Next, I'm going to repeat exactly what I did for the hands, but I'm going to make it a little bit larger here just so we have a nose for our gnome. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue that directly on the inside of the overall. For the beard, I'm going to be using this raffia, and I'm just going to place it underneath the nose with some hot glue and press the nose into the raffia, and that'll seal the nose down as well as the beard. For the hat of my gnome, I'm taking this burlap bag and I'm going to be stuffing it with cotton batting, and then I'm going to take an elastic and I'm just going to elastic off halfway down so we have this kind of scarecrow beanie style hat, and I'm going to attach it to the body of my gnome with some glue, just working around the back of the hat, pressing it down onto the back of the gnome, and then as well gluing just around the front and seating it just over top the nose of my gnome. This is my completed spring farmer gnome here set up in my home, and I just think this is such a cute way to add a little touch of fun to your spring decor. I really hope that this project inspires you to get creative. Thanks so much for tuning into Home Talk, and we'll see you on another video.